Hello, race fans, and welcome to the V8 Supercar America series here presented by V8's Online. I'm JD Smith. With me tonight to call all the action will be Kane Kraft, and we're in for a hefty event here at the brand new iRacing added Donington Raceway here, all in and ready. Kane, how you doing, buddy? It's going to be a great night of action. Before we get started, I do want to let you guys know tonight's broadcast is presented in beautiful high definition and brought to you by our wonderful sponsors, V8 Supercar Fan Group, Direct Clutch Services, and our very own V8 Online Superstore. My name's JD Smith once again. Kane, how you doing, bud? Let's get this thing going. I'm excited. Big race tonight.
Yeah, great night tonight. Donington Park, the first time we're ever raced here in the V8 Supercars, so this is going to be fantastic.
Got a lot of things, special things. Also want to introduce somebody here on the show as well. Got Jim Davey with us here. As you know, Jim always brings us awesome updates on what's happening in the second split all throughout the race. Jim, how you doing tonight?
Oh, it's a wonderful night.
That it is. Also, we got good. Well, we got lots of good things happening. First, let's talk a little bit about Donington real quick. Donington, a brand new track to the service. We're going to be doing 35 laps around the track tonight. The Grand Prix configuration of Donington. For those that don't know a lot about Donington, including myself, I'm still learning a lot about it. But Donington Park Racing Circuit is a 2.4, basically a 2.5 mile track. That's 4.02 kilometers. It's 12 turns, and they do run two different configurations here on the simulator. We also, this track's located in Leicestershire, I think I'm saying that right, Leicestershire, England, and I'm sure the English are laughing at me tremendously right now. But we do have 12 unique turns tonight, a really tough hairpin on turn 11. We should see a lot of action there tonight. We wanted to bring you a hot lap provided by Chad Chastain, but instead Chad is going to run all 35 hot laps tonight as he plans on going out there and getting a great result tonight. Can't wait for the race to get started. So without further ado, we're going to head on down there as soon as we get some images up on the screen, and we're going to get ready to get this thing pumping. I'm excited. We've got a lot of good racers, 19 cars in all on the track this afternoon for this wonderful race. I think there's 17 cars that are enrolled in, but we're already on getting ready to start this bad boy. The cars are getting on the pole tonight. It's going to be Chad Chastain in the number 9 machine tonight. Also, Bo Cubis on the outside. Michael Fulcher will third, fourth, Corey Preston, Nigel Baines rounding out the top 5. Cars are revving up. Let's get started here at Donington. Green flag is waving, and we're out, and a KRT goes wide. KRT car goes wide. Let's see what's happening here up front, as this is already getting off to a big start. We got a car that's turned over on its side and back again. Who is that?
Another bad day for Chad, as didn't even make it to the first turn this week. Oh man, that's heartbreaking.
I know he is so upset. That is just what we saw a few weeks ago at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, boys. Oh, that is heartbreaking. In the lead right now, it is point leader, or close to point leader, Bo Cubis. I believe he's in the points lead now.
Tony Ottridge is in the points lead. Bo Cubis is right behind. Bo has missed a week of racing, though, so he's got one of his drop weeks. I think it's going to be real close between he and Tony Ottridge as we get towards the closing races of this thing.
The good news is, Kane, Tony Ottridge not on the track tonight, and Bo Cubis is. Not only is Bo Cubis on the track, he is in the lead. 2 KRT cars right behind him, though. He has Michael Fulcher right on his tail, and behind him it's Corey Preston, and I'm right behind them. A good move from Nigel Baines there as he puts a good move around Marlon McMullen. Fantastic driving up here in the top 5.
Good to see Marlon Mullen back in the series tonight. We missed him for the last few weeks as he's been working extra hard in the real life, and it's been taking up too much of his time to be on the racetrack. But he's back tonight, so good to see him here, and he's doing pretty well up in 5th place. I know he set a good time in qualifying, so good to see Marlon McMullen back on the track.
Absolutely. Good battles off the track. Wayne Bork and company having a great time. Also behind him, back in 13th, Sam Sutton holding his own because Michael Cracknell and also Ryan Shelton, newcomer to the series, coming up fast. We were about 3 wide there for a moment near the rear of the pack, and then all of a sudden it just spaced out single file as the guy starting to get this 35-lap adventure they call Donington. And boy, this is going to be a race. We're going to see all kinds of action tonight. One thing we didn't mention in the pre-race show is the pit window. It should open up around lap 12, and that's when we should see guys start to make their way down for a very long pit stops. There should be about 30 seconds in all when you consider pit entrance, the stop itself, and pit exit, getting back up to speed. So lots of times can be lost and made up on pit road if you play it right. Going to be real interesting to see how it plays out. The battle up front is still very intense between Fast Fulch, Michael Fulcher chasing down our leader, Bo Kubis, as they start lap 3.
Yeah, like you were saying, JD, this is a really great track. First time the V8's here, 2.5 miles, 12 turns. Really, there's 4 good spots for overtake. Going into turn 1, as long as you got a good run out of the last hairpin. Into turn 7, you can be a little sneaky, a little tricky. If you're brave, you can go into turn 9, which is the chicane there. You can try to make an attempt on somebody. And going into the last, or the second to last hairpin, that's a pretty good overtaking spot. Problem with the very last hairpin, very last turn, is it's pretty blind. It's really hard to see. So it makes it a little iffy if people want to actually pass there.
Good job. We got side-by-side racing right now. Curtis Chipaway and Sam Collins. Good pass. Chipaway. That'll put him up into 8th place for the moment, and that'll be another spot fallen there by Sam Collins. He needs to find his way. And then we got another side-by-side race going on behind them. That's Sanjay Dalalik getting around Aaron Hamilton back there. So we'll keep an eye on that battle as well. Heavy blinking back there from the car right behind Aaron Hamilton. That's Wayne Bork, and he's going to inside right now and try to make a pass on Wayne. And right now, or it's going to be close. He's blinking really bad in and out, guys. Connection issues all for Wayne Bork here in the Osram Ford Falcon. He actually had a decent pass opportunity on Aaron Hamilton. That is for 11th they're battling for, but blinking out really bad. I'm worried he may get a lost connection.
Not looking good at all for Wayne Burke. He's struggling real bad there with his connection. I'd hope it clears up, because it's really going to start causing a problem for drivers like Sam Sutton back behind, as Sam makes his way up there and tries to get around him. It's really tough to pass a blinking car.
Guys, the new battle that I think we're going to have happen real soon here is going to be for 3rd place, as Corey Preston has got some real company coming up in Nigel Baines. Good to see Nigel back out on the track this week, as we haven't seen him for a few weeks here in the V8 Americas series, but he's looking absolutely like he hasn't missed a beat right here in 4th place and right on the tail of Corey Preston, who's had a phenomenal season with away a couple slight mistakes here and there. He's had a little bad luck as of lately, but he's had good runs. Now through this is going to be close, as Corey Preston has to run on avoid going into contact with Nigel Baines. Nigel will let Corey back out in front, and good sportsmanship, because that was very, very close. That could have been bad. Now we got it real tight here as Nigel Baines comes out in front of Marlon McMullen in the Dayco Ford Falcon. Could we go 3 wide here at Donington? Perhaps here through the strong left-hander. It's going to be the KRT machine of Corey Preston. Followed is going to get across the line first. It will be Nigel Baines. And what a battle between these 3 cars. This is fantastic. Corey Preston in 4th place, Nigel 5th, and then Martin Carroll is listed in 5th, but he'll fall as I'm looking at the starting positions, not the race. Martin Carroll's back in 14th, excuse me. Marlon McMullen's what I meant to say. Fantastic three-way battle between these guys. And I don't think it's over, guys. Here comes Nigel again. He's getting right back up there with Corey. And Corey Preston knows Nigel is right there with him. He's no stranger. These two drivers know each other very well. Uh-oh, something's wrong with Nigel, boys.
Looks like maybe a slowdown penalty, possibly.
That's exactly what it looked like. I believe it was a slowdown penalty for Nigel Baines, and it cost him dearly as he lost at least, I know of, 4 positions. I think he's back in 9th place.
Yeah, you know, in practice I got a slowdown penalty, and it clear, so he could have got one of those killer slowdowns.
We're shaping up. Let's check in with Jim Davey and see how things are going over there in the second splits. Jim?
I was going to make a comment. Yeah, it is very easy to pick up those slowdowns, especially going through the S's and turn 7 and 8. Curve. Problem is, it's a very fine line between using a lot of curb and getting those slowdowns. Right now, Jason Dixon's leading the second split, 2.5 seconds over Rory Windrum. Jason Quire 3rd, Todd Parks 4th, Andrew Vince 5th, Brenton O'Brien 6th, Mike Budzian 7th, Adam Harden 8th, David Moore 9th, 10th. It's been very clean so far. Hasn't been any really big incidents, so it's very good to see this week.
Yeah, we might shout out a reminder there that yesterday there was not a race on the Thursday night race, so a lot of the guys that run the Thursday night shows are running again here tonight, and I've heard a couple names in the second split that are normally Thursday night racers that racing again tonight on Friday night because there was an issue with the servers last night, and so there was no race last night.
Yeah, that was disappointing. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot we can do about it. It's iRacing's deal. They were very disappointed the servers went. It still counts though. It's still not going to be a drop week. Well, it might be a drop week for people if they couldn't race last night. They can't race tonight.
Yeah, well, that's true. There's
we have
nothing that you can do. It's still a scheduled race.
We have just a tremendous race of cars starting at all the way up from Marlon McMullen, guys, in 3rd up here in the top split. Behind him, fantastic run here from Mark Anderson. And then behind him, Curtis Chipaway, Ian Ford, Corey Preston, Nigel Baines, and Sam Collins, all almost bumper to bumper here, single file. And these guys battling hard for position, even all the way back here in 9th place.
How about the run from Mark Anderson getting up there into the 4th place? That was a fantastic job by him. Now he'll be up there competing with Marlon McMullen for that 3rd place position.
Tonight in 8th position, all the way up now, really putting on some pressure for Marlon McMullen up there. It's good to see Marlon back up in the top 3. I haven't seen him perform very well since the new tire build, but tonight a good run from him. If you're wondering where Marlon started his night tonight, Marlon and his Power Bond Dayco Ford Falcon started in 7th. So him and Mark Anderson both moved up equal spots there, and they're both running 3rd and 4th now. Very exciting. And how about the lead, guys? Still a good battle for the lead. There is a little bit of a gap between 1st and 2nd, but how about Michael Fulcher hanging with Bo Kubis up here for the lead?
I do want to mention that Marlon McMullen actually tonight is in the Jim Beam Black Ford Falcon, no longer driving the Power Bond Dayco.
Well, of course.
As Marlon and Curtis will not be driving the Power Bond Fords no more.
Well, I'm glad that you put that in there, buddy. I just refreshed it. You know, me and Trading Paints, they love JD. They always give me the second newest paint jobs. They were new last week. How about that?
Yeah, Curtis
I don't know
Marlon,
why it does that.
Curtis and Marlon are running under the Chicken Line Racing team now.
Chicken Line Racing. I'll have to try to remember that. Yeah, I didn't get the change made in the overlays like I was supposed to, but Chicken Line Racing for Marlon and Curtis.
I got a message last night, I think it was, saying, hey, we're Chicken Line Racing now. So, okay.
All right, finally it uploaded the Jim Beam Black. Finally, there I'm right there, Marlon McMullen in the Jim Beam black Ford Falcon. I really like that paint now that I get to see it. And it looks like Michael Fulcher is trying his best to get up there to Bokia Biss, but the battle that really I'm liking to watch right now, guys, is actually right there behind Marlon McMullen. It's between Mark Anderson and Curtis Chipaway. These two really going at it. Kurt right there on the bumper of the KRT machine, Mark Anderson, and you got to think the number 4 car, Curtis Chipaway, looking to make a move to get up there to his former teammate, Marlon McMullen. Oh, we got some more good close racing with Nigel Baines right in front of him. It is Ian Ford, and these two about to go at it. Nigel was right there in contact, close to making contact with the rear bumper of Ian Ford's machine, and then a great run out of the turn there from Ian Ford. That'll give him a little bit of breathing room for the next turn or two, but Nigel Baines trying to catch up on some of that lost ground he had when he had that terrible slowdown penalty earlier in the race. All right now leader Bokia Biss on lap 9 of 35, guys. Remember, in just a few laps time, the fuel window will open. So the High-Tech Oils Ford Falcon of Bokia Biss should be looking to head down pit road. Be interesting to see if guys follow the leader or have in mind. Once we get up to lap 12, that should be about the window when these guys can come in. They'll be looking for 4 fresh tires and fuel is what I'm hearing word from the teams. Boy, Bo really turning on he's really turned it on here in the last lap or two, Kane. He's just over a lead over second place driver Michael Fulcher. I'm just really proud of Michael. He's hung well, but he's starting to fall down a little bit in here. Michael will be interesting. He's going to try to get some of that time up on Bokia Biss in the pits. You got to think, we've seen it before. Sometimes guys have trouble catching them on the track. They can benefit from these pit stops. And hopefully if he can get a good pit in and pit out, he can gain some of this time back and maybe get up there and get ahead of Bo and hold it.
Noticing Wayne Bork still with a heck of a connection problem. Wayne Bork back there in the 15th spot now. He's I'm thinking he's probably let a few people go because of the connection issues, and that's why he's back in as registering 15th. It keeps bouncing between 15th and 8th. Yeah, still having a heck of a connection problem.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's lasted this long, and you feel bad. A connection issue is, oh boy, it is really bad.
The driver worth following though, Martin Carroll. Marty's, something happened there at the beginning. Marty ended up at the back of the pack, so now we get to watch Marty coming up through the definitely driving well tonight, and he's made up several spots. Now he's caught a couple of the faster cars, so it's going to be fun to kind of watch Marty work his way through the field.
It really is, Kane. He's right there behind Michael Cracknell, and you know that he's got this pack of 3 cars in front of him that he would love to work around, and it should only be a matter of time. Marty's really good here. Obviously, he had a qualifying time. He's qualified 6th and a fast time. He was in the 129.2. That's really fast. I thought he was going to make a move on the exit there, just didn't quite have it. And do a paint scheme check here. I'm looking at Sam Sutton, Kane, in the number 11 machine. It looks like he's driving the Pepsi Board tonight. Is that the case on your screen?
That is correct. He is in the Pepsi Max paint scheme. That's
Mark Winterbottom tribute there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's Matt Nethercoat paint or not. I know Matt Nethercoat painted a couple of those Pepsi Max schemes that were just amazing. Every one that he does is awesome, and I think that's probably one of his, and just so authentic, just to the last little detail.
Unbelievable. Matthew Nethercoat does a wonderful job. In fact, I'd be willing to call it the best on iRacing. I've yet to see somebody with that talent as far as getting authenticity to these cars. They look just like what we see on TV. It's just amazing. I cannot wait. I know that he's got to be excited once these new V8 Supercars come out. We get these Holdens coming in here, these Commodores, and he'll be able to paint them up authentic instead of putting a Holden paint on Fords, which we've seen, just because all we've had available is the Ford Falcon. and it's going to be unbelievable. Side-by-side racing now, KRT drivers, and it looked like that was Corey Preston and his teammate Mark Anderson there flirting with contact through the corners. Very close. Now we're going to see if Mark Anderson can stay ahead of Ian Ford there. We got a good little battle there. They got really close, kind of bunched up there through the hairpin. But back to what we were saying there about those paint schemes, I'm just excited to see what he's going to come out with once we get those new V8s. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, he'll do a good job getting some of those Holden paint schemes out there for the world.
All right, guys, it is officially lap 12, so our pit lane watch will start. We'll try to keep an eye on the pits for you guys tonight. And let's see if we have anybody in the pits right now. And Wayne Bork is in the pits right now. The car that's having internet dramas is in the pits and actually making his way out of the pit stall now. So maybe he somehow made an adjustment to the internet. I don't know. Looks like things might be better. Well, second I said that, it started blinking again. And so we'll keep you posted on Wayne Bork's condition, guys. He currently runs 17th at the moment, but he has made the pit stop.
Marlon McMullen with the slowdown there. That really allowed teammate Curtis Chipway to get right up onto the bumper. So we have a big race here for third now, as Curtis and Marlon are just right there bumper to bumper.
Yeah, great battle here. Two guys that know each other very well in Marlon McMullen and Curtis Chipaway. And right now the Jim Beam Black Ford Falcon right now leads the way in the final podium spot. He's in third, and Curtis would love to get up there and get ahead of Marlon.
Mike Fulcher in the pits now, 10 seconds down on his pit stop.
Oh, very nice. Marty Carroll also in the pits as well. Pit road is packed slap full, boys. Right now, Michael Fulcher leaving pit road. Nigel in the pits. Martin Carroll, Sam Collins, all in pit road. So we'll keep you posted on who does what. I'm sure we'll have all those pit times once everybody makes their stops. We'll really be able to see who has done what in the pits. I'm sure we'll see tons of positions flop around.
Yeah, right now the pit stops are ranging between 16.2 seconds for Nigel Baines and 18.4 seconds for Mike Fulcher.
Wow.
That is a big spread.
Yeah, Jim, how's y'all should be about at that lap 12 mark now. How's things looking over there in the second split?
Oh, come on. You know they've been better than that. The Jason Dixon right now is leading. It's lap 13, about to be lap 14. Jason Dixon still leading from the pole. I tell you, you might even see him next week up in the top split. Todd Parks second, Andrew Vince third, Rory Wyndham fourth, Jason Quire fifth. Nobody's pitted yet. It's still been pretty clean. Every now and then somebody's getting a slowdown penalty, which this track is another one. It's pretty easy to pick up little off-track incident points for. Watching again, Katie Taranto. Got a jump start penalty, I believe it was. Had to come into the pits at the end of the first lap. Dropped her way back to 17th, and she's been able to fight her way back up to 13th just based on speed. She's been doing really well tonight.
Yeah, she's having about the same kind of night that we've seen with Marty Carroll. Just something happened there at the beginning, took him to the back, made his way back up to 13th before pit stops. Now that pit stops are a factor, we'll have to wait till all the pit stops are done to find out where he'll be after that. But right now, he's back in 13th.
Boy, I tell you what, Bo Kibis out here in the high-tech oils Ford Falcons very well. He is just in his own world in the number 2 car out front, and ever since he jumped out front from the start of the race, he has not looked back. And guys, it looked well, I thought he would be getting ready to come down pit road, but that's not going to be the case this lap. We'll see if he decides to head down that way next time. He's staying out here in the lead.
Curtis Chipway also electing to stick it. Corey Preston right behind him as well, really putting the pressure on Curtis there.
He's bumper to bumper. Behind him, Mark Anderson and Ian Ford were bumper to bumper for a moment. And Mark Anderson has broke away for the moment, but still going at it is Curtis Chipaway and Corey Preston. And that is the official battle for second, guys.
Corey Preston having a fantastic race here tonight. He's been doing a lot better this season, but still having a mistake toward the end of the race that cost him a lot of positions. But tonight, so far, still up in third, having a great race. Ian Ford back in the 5th position, also kind of racy tonight. We've seen him having a lot of great battles throughout the night. He's now on the bumper of 4th place Mark Anderson. None of these guys here have had their pit stop yet, so we're expecting them to pull in here within the next few laps and get some fuel and tires.
Yeah, I was briefly chatting with Marlon before the race, and he had been talking about lap 14. And he had mentioned, I'd mentioned to him, that it seems like pretty much all season, the people that stay out really long, you're really, really rolling the dice, because if you can keep up your lap times, it's great. But if you start falling off and these tires fall off in a hurry, if you abuse them, it really just, it sinks your race.
I've seen it go both ways, actually. It's kind of a 50-50 shot. I guess it all depends on how well you preserve your tires. But with the tires falling off as quick as they do, I would think that you'd want to try to cut that race in half and have the best tires possible for as long as possible. But we still see a lot of these guys coming in just as soon as they can.
Right, I think the people I've spoken with, it seems like they want to get on the new tires, but they understand the penalty they're going to play at the end of the race with having worn out tires. And it seems like really having the weight in the back of the car with the fuel, which used to be good for the old setup, isn't so much of a benefit anymore. So it has brought the fuel strategy kind of back into the racing.
Yeah, I can't wait for the changes that will come with the new car, having to relearn all this that we're discussing here, tire strategy, fuel strategy. All this will be different with the new car, so I just can't wait. It's going to be exciting. Corey Preston still putting the pressure on Curtis Chipaway for that 2nd spot. A little bit of a blink there internet-wise by Corey Preston. Hopefully his internet will stick it out and he'll be able to continue. They're continuing on for another lap, guys.
Yeah, started lap number 17, guys, and I have noticed a little bit of blinking from Curtis Chipaway. This was about 2 laps ago. Wasn't major, but it did pop in at a time or two, so I'm wondering, it's kind of a little bit of everybody having a little bit of internet issues tonight. Not tremendously bad, not like with Wayne Borg earlier. Checking in if you're wondering about how Wayne's doing. He is in 14th place right now, Kanan. For the moment, he's quit blinking.
JD, this just in. Mike Fulcher has pipped leader Bo Cubas in the pits. So, Mike Fulcher, now your effective leader. Of course, we've got Curtis Chipaway in the lead for the minute, but once pit stops are done, we're going to see Mike Fulcher in the lead, just ahead of Bo Cubas.
How about that? Huge news for the Kamikaze race. Hold your horses. Here comes contact, and turned around is Michael Fulcher, and that is side-by-side starting. And let's see if Bo Cubas allows for that position to be retained. He does for the moment, and they get a minor contact again. Put that on your highlight reel, boys and girls.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain that Bo allowed him to get that position back just out of respect, and that's what we see so much of that in this series.
Kane, I'm sorry, but I can't be quiet when we got 2 guys about to go side by side for the lead through the dadgum S turn here, and this unbelievably crazy battles up here for the lead right now, as we see both Bo Cubas and Bo Cubas and Michael Fulcher going at it here for the lead, or what will be the lead once pit stops finish. And I tell you what, they have not let up a bit. Both cars still going at it. That was a beautiful job of Bo Cubas allowing Michael Fulcher to retain his spot, but he's going to lose it here. Oh, he's going to lose it here. Down on the inside, here comes Bokyabis. Can Michael hold on? He's trying his best, and no, for the moment, it's going to be Bokyabis going back to the lead, and a beautiful pass there by the High-Tech Oils machine. Fantastic job. Let's see if Michael Fulcher can get it back. Man, this is fantastic. This is what it's all about up here in V8 Supercar racing here on iRacing. Fantastic, unbelievable talent between these two guys up here at the front. And that's what people don't realize, Kane, is that we have this kind of talent all the way through the entire field. I think we still have Corey Preston and Ian Ford to pit, if I'm not mistaken. And Curtis Chipaway, is that right?
Curtis has pitted. He's now back in ninth. So Curtis and Ian are the two that need to pit to get at least the top part of this field straightened out. Got Matt Yeomans also to pit, and Sam Sutton. Corey Preston in the pit now. All that remains is Ian Ford up there in the #1 position for the minute. He'll probably duck in this next time around, and we'll have the field cleared and Bokyabis back into the lead.
Good stuff. I got so excited earlier, boys, when I got quiet there for a little while. I had an accident and my entire drink all over me and about pulled the desk over. I got excited for got too excited and spilt stuff everywhere. I didn't know if I was going to electrocute myself or what.
I can so picture you doing that whenever the great up or something like the Bokyabis spin there at when that happened. I could really see you spilling your pop everywhere, shaking it around. Oh my God, we got contact, and just shaking your pop. Yeah, I can see that.
And now I'm sitting here, I'm soaking wet, but I don't care. I'm not going anywhere, man.
You're killing me.
Ian Ford does not decide to pit, boys. He's going to continue to stay out. So very interesting here from the #6 machine in the Demidov Ford Falcon. Ian Ford wants to remain the lead, record another lap in the lead. Good to see there for Ian.
Got a pretty good battle back here in the 5th place. Marlon McMullen's caught up to Nigel Baines, and these guys are going to have a race.
Oh, two great drivers here. They know one another very well. Nigel Baines and Marlon McMullen, the two-time champ here in the America Series. And it's so good to see these two going at it. These are two drivers that know exactly what they're doing and have loads of talent between the two drivers. And I tell you what, Nigel right now is going to do anything in his power not to let that Jim Beam Black Ford around him. He's going to do everything in his power to stay in front. And this is the battle for 4th place. You got to think, guys, once Ian Ford pits, this will be for a podium spot they're battling for. This will actually be for 3rd place. Right now, Nigel Baines holding his own, doing very well, but Marlon McMullen just staying right with distance, and that's what Marlon is very well at doing. And he'll hang right there and see if Nigel gives him any gifts. Yeah, I am really happy to see that, because something tells me the new V8 will be more similar to this tire model than our older one. So I knew eventually he would have to kind of get a grasp on the newer tire models. You knew he'd come around. Here's Ian Ford, though, still in the lead, guys, has not did so. If you're watching the race, your potential leader is Bokyabis. Once Ian gets his pit stop, I don't think there's any possibility he could stay out all 35 laps. That would amaze me, but he's got a pit here shortly. He's got to be really low on fuel.
Yeah, I think he's just enjoying being out in the open, clean air and just trying to get as many laps as he can with the clean air. He's about a second off of his fastest pace. No, not quite a second. So he's still not turning back. So he'll probably duck in here pretty soon. He'll probably stay out just as long as he can and then pull in and get some fuel.
It's actually really good to be out that long and only have about a second off your fastest lap time with those old tires. That's not bad at all.
Checking back in on Bo Cubis, the guy who's running in second place at the moment, but the effective lead because Ian Ford does still have to pit. He has managed to pull ahead 3 seconds over third place, Mike Fulcher. Then Nigel Baines another 7 seconds back with Marlon McMullen trying to get around to go side by side, but not going to make it, going to tuck back in behind. Another opportunity.
Great battle up here, coming around the final turn 12 here. It's Nigel Baines and Marlon McMullen going at it again, and Marlon had a really good time. Unfortunately, couldn't get around Nigel there, but very good opportunity, and he's going in really hot into turn 1 as they come through on the exit. Good drive off from Nigel as he puts about a car length and a half over Marlon there, but Marlon stays right there within striking distance still. And I tell you, I really thought Marlon McMullen had him on that last turn. Good job by Nigel to make sure that that didn't happen. Another good battle is starting to collect behind these two between Mark Anderson and Curtis Chipaway. Kurt, about 2 car lengths behind him now. He was all the way on the bumper just a second ago, but a great job by Mark Anderson to drive away. Corey Preston back in 8th at the moment. He'd love to get up there. And guys, don't forget about Marty Carroll. Remember, he fall back early in the race. He's all the way back up to 9th place. Once Ian Ford pits, that should put him in 8th.
Yeah, with that being said, let's check on Katie Torrento and how she's doing in the second split with Jim Davey.
Well, wow. As you said that, somebody went off the track right in front of her. But right now, she's the last person out there, I believe, that hasn't pitted. She's running 8th at the moment. I think she's going to fall back to about 12th when she finally pits. Right now, Jason Dixon has retaken the lead after David Moore finally pitted, followed by Todd Parks, Andrew Vince, Rory Windrum, Jason Quire, and Adam Hart. It's top 6, I guess. I'm doing math on the fly here. Like I said, Katie Torrento is running 8th at the moment. Brendan O'Brien's 9th. Mike Budzian's 10th. However, that's going to change a little bit once Katie comes in and does her pit stop. So it's going to promote Brendan up to 8th, Mike up to 9th. Shane Rayner will be running 10th or so.
Thanks for that update there, Jim. Awesome stuff. I hate to hear that. While that was happening, Ian Ford has made his pit stop, guys, and he popped back out in 8th place just in front of Marty Carroll there. He did a really good job to pass him, and he's holding in that 8th place position at the moment, and that does put Bo Cubis out 4.5 second lead over Michael Fulcher.
Mike Fulcher having a great race. We've seen him have a really good year this year. He's won a race or 2, and he's really had a lot of great finishing positions this season. So I think we're going to see a lot more out of the KRT guys in this coming season, because all these guys really have stepped up their game this season.
The fast Fulch.
The fast Fulch, you're
That's right. They really have done a fantastic job. They've kind of merged in a little bit with SDC Motorsports as part of the Trifecta Motorsport Group, and they've really got a lot of help. I think this merging between these two teams kind of they're out. They're kind of like sister teams. They do a fantastic job helping one another. Right now, Marlon McMullen trying to make his move on Nigel Baines here, the battle for 3rd. And he's trying very hard. He can't get it done. Here he comes again for a 3rd opportunity, but won't get it done as Nigel Baines has the race line covered like a blanket, and he will not let Marlon McMullen by. Beautiful job.
I just want to make a correction that is not the Trifecta Motor Group.
Oh, well, who is it? I'm sorry.
It's just the SDC Motorsports and KRT.
Well, I thought they were part of an alliance. That's right. They're part of the racing. That's exactly what it's
They
called.
just have a little, I don't know, they just work together a lot and have an alliance, but it's not the trifecta, that's something different.
Well, I goofed that all up, didn't I?
Well, we just had a
Marlon's
little bit
still.
of an incident here.
Oh, go ahead, Jim.
Sorry about that. One of the interesting things about turn 12 is how it's, or 11 I think it is. It's a little bit off camber and it's real easy to lose the rear end when you're coming through it, which just happened to Mike Budzian while he and Brendan O'Brien were battling. Unfortunately, it happened right star of the race here, Katie Taranto, and she kind of bumped into Mike, and then she got bumped into by Peter Simons, a back marker, who's actually doing a really good job tonight. So it was a little interesting. One of the things, and it looks like Katie is, oh, she has hit the wall. She has hit the wall off the track.
Tough break for her. It sounded like she was having a really good race there, and then everything just went wrong all at once.
Unfortunately, yeah. It's, I mean, she had to be getting close to her pit stop as it was. She's on lap 24. Can't see she had much fuel left, so it might have been a bit of her tires going off there.
I hate to hear that. I think a lot of realize how quickly things can go wrong on a race like this. On a race, you know, people don't realize how hard it is just to stay out of trouble sometimes. So many things can go wrong so quickly. A lot of people just don't realize how easy it is for things to slip up on you.
I'm watching a replay of it. It's really interesting. She was braking for turn 7, and the car just spun off to the left and went through the gravel trap into the wall. I'm not really sure what happened. I have to try to find out from her later on what happened.
Huh. We need an interview on that one.
We do.
I'll tell you what, I am still watching the battle for third, guys. Marlon McMullen all over Nigel Baines through the latter part of lap 25, now the start of lap 26.
Curtis
Here he
Chipway
comes
just
again.
gets around Corey Preston. Sorry, that was a great move by Curtis Chipway for that position. Fantastic.
Fantastic there from Kurt. We've seen a lot from him, and watching him, or Nigel Baines and Marlon McMullen, and I'm watching these two, and I'm amazed at Marlon McMullen because he'll be in a position like he is right now where he's about 2, maybe 3 car lengths behind Nigel Baines, but once they come up on the latter part of the lap, watch him, he'll be right here on the bumper, right here on the end of the lap. I mean, it's unbelievable. He's so much faster on the end of the lap. On the first part of the lap, Nigel's so much faster. And right now, Nigel really got some time put on him. It'll be interesting to see if Marlon can try to catch back up here. But somehow, some way, watch it, he'll do it. Through the S section here. And here comes Marlon. I'm telling you, it's like clockwork. Here he is, coming into the hairpin, and he's going to try to make the move on the inside, guys. And just like a book, I'm telling you, it's happening side-by-side racing. Let's see what happens as Nigel Baines does everything he can. He'll have the inside this time. That should give him the advantage. But a good turn in by Marlon, just can't get the momentum as mid-corner speed is a lot better from Nigel Baines there, and that'll help him out. Now going into turn 1, let's see what happens, because here comes Marlon. He is all over Nigel Baines. Good, clean racing. This is what a good battle is all about, guys.
Now, this is the part of the track where Nigel's a little bit faster, so we should see Nigel start to pull away a little bit here, and Marlon just try to keep up. But then towards the latter part of the lap, we'll see Marlon really put the pressure back on.
Yeah, the unique thing about this track is that the first half of it or so takes 100% commitment. You have to get the line perfectly. If you don't, you're either off the track in the wall or you're really slowing down to save the car, whereas the second half of the track really is more of a traditional track that everybody's used to, so it might be a little bit of just having more practice time.
Yeah, it very well could be, as we know that Marlon hasn't had a whole lot of practice time this week, but he's definitely had enough, because he's definitely got some good speed there.
All right, here we come now. Let's see. Here it is, the time when Marlon usually gets his speed up. This time he doesn't get quite as good of a jump on Nigel as in the past, but this may be to his benefit. You'll see what I mean in a second. He's kind of overdrove that previous turn a little bit, and he's going to try to put himself in a good position here, but nope, just can't get it done. I'm telling you, Nigel is driving this lap perfect. I mean, he is just all on the racing line. He's hitting his braking markers perfect. He is just absolutely doing everything in his power to make sure that if Marlon can pass, it'd be even better than Nigel. I mean, Nigel's driving this lap so perfect that Marlon is going to have to just do almost the impossible to get around. And while all that's going on, guys, lap 28 of 35 here in Donington Speedway. If you're just joining us, we do thank you for coming on. And we want to let you know it's kind of a recap of where we've been so far. Right now, it's been all from early race start. We had Chad Chastain on the pole. And right from the get-go, Chad, unfortunately, out of the race. And ever since, it's been Bo Kubica in the lead all the way. We had a few lead laps from Ian Ford as pit stops were commencing, and Ian Ford took a late pit strategy, and that put Bo Kubica back out of the lead, and ever since he has led the way beautifully. In fact, Bo Kubica right now has a little over 7.5 second lead over Michael Fulcher, so it looks really promising right now for Bo Kubica as we're on the start of lap 29 of 35.
Yeah, another stellar race for us. He's now at 8.4 seconds over Mike Fulcher. So had a great race there for a minute between he and Mike Fulcher, but ultimately he just put his head down and just drove away. And he's done that the last couple weeks. Once he gets on a roll, he just takes off.
Also do have some news to report. Wayne Bork is officially out of the race, guys. Not sure exactly what happened, but he is out of the race. His official spot looks like he'll finish 16th. Corey Peters out of the race, Sam Sutton out of the race, and of course Chad Chastain retired early as well.
Just a quick chat about the points for the Drivers' Championship. Bo Kubica was 101 or 105 points down for Tony Aldridge. That being said, Bo was down 1 week over Tony, so I think after this week it'll be a pretty good representation of where the two are in relation to each other, since they'll both have 1 week gone.
Fantastic news right there, Jim. That's awesome stuff. Can't wait to see how it looks. Well, guys, I'll tell you what, at lap 29, guys are getting ready to reshape battles here. I'll go ahead and do a quick rundown of how we're doing in the top split, and then I'll turn it over to Jim real quick to give us that final update from split 2 before we go here in 5 laps time. In the lead right now, Bo Kubica in the High-Tech Oils Ford Falcon. Back in second place, it's KRT driver Michael Fulcher and SDC Motorsports machine driver Nigel Baines in your top 3. Marlon McMullen is in 4th with Mark Anderson back there in 5th. Curtis Chipaway in 6th. Corey Preston in the KRT machine in 7th. In the Demidov Falcon it is Ian Ford and Marty Carroll in the V8 Supercar New Zealand Ford Falcon. In 10th it's Sam Collins. Sam back there in 11th. Aaron Hamilton is currently in 12th with Michael Cracknell in 13th. Matt Yeomans is in the 14th position, and Ryan Shelton back there in 15th. Wayne Bork, Corey Peters, Sam Sutton, and Chad Chastain are all out of the race and retired for the day. Jim, how are we looking into split 2?
Well, amusingly enough, Bo's teammate, Jason Dixon in the High-Tech Oils Ford Falcon is running first place, followed about second and a half back by Todd Parks' LED Innovations car. And third place is Andrew Vince in the OG MRZ O Gamers car, followed by privateer David Moore. Roy Rindrum in the Go Canada car in 5th place. Adam Harden, Mad Cow Racing in the 6th place. Jason Quire 7th in the Sim Pit Form Falcon. Brenton O'Brien is running 8th in the Demidov Motor Innovations car. Mike Buttian, another one of our privateers, running 9th. Shane Rayner 10th. Katie Taranto has recovered. She's a lap down in 11th. Dean Flavel's 12th. Colin A.M. Mason Hayes, there's a mouthful, is 13th. Peter Simons 14th, David Terry 15th, Christopher Sherburne 16th, and John Payne is 17th. And I'll be honest with you right now, Brenton and Mike Budzian are bumper to bumper, not even half a second between them. It's a great race.
Oh man, I'd love to see that battle between those two.
Oh, and Brenton just got a slowdown. It looks like it had to let Mike go through.
Yeah, I think we had the same thing happen here with Marlon McMullen. Something happened to Marlon that took him about the 7th or 8th place, and he was having a great battle here with 4 of these cars: Curtis Chipway, Mark Anderson, Corey Preston, and Ian Ford. There's a big battle going on right here. Marlon just shot it down into one of the turns past 2 guys at once, and that's put him right behind Curtis Chipway back into the 5th position. And now he's going to be catching up to Curtis here in just a second. Probably have a big battle going on there. But we've got a 4-car battle right here for this 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th position.
Yeah, it's awesome to see, too, Kane, here on lap 31, too. These guys this close to one another, from Curtis Chipaway right behind him, Marlon McMullen, and then the KRT driver, Mark Anderson, behind him. And I don't want to forward, and also right behind him, I mean, it's just sport cars. It just keeps going and going and going. So fun to watch Ian Ford right here on the tail end of this pack of cars. And fun to see if Marlon can get his spot back up there in 4th. He'd love to get back up to 3rd, or get up there to battle for 3rd, but that's just not going to happen. He's stuck behind an amazing driver in Curtis Chipaway, and he knows it. This race is really ending in a hurry. It's our leader all the way, he's about 21 seconds ahead of Curtis Chipaway up there all by his lonesome. It's Bo Cubis, and he's on lap 32, so this race was going to end in a hurry. You don't realize how quickly these races get away.
You do when you're driving it.
Yeah. Michael Fulcher, fantastic day for him. He's only 11 seconds behind leader, and looks fantastic. He's up there all by himself at the moment. No dangers for him. Nigel Baines in 3rd, and no dangers for him. Back, though, is it starts with the mega pack, and it's Curtis has broken away from Marlon a little bit, got a little breathing room, but behind them it's still very tight, as you have Mark Anderson trying to get up there and catch Marlon. He's actually in striking distance, guys. And here comes a move from Ian Ford, and he's going to try to do something here. Good move by him, as something happened back there.
We lost Corey. Corey has, I'm guessing, hit his instant mark.
That is exactly what happened, Kane, because him and Ian Ford, I think, had some kind of contact, and that was it for Corey. And that is such a tough break. Corey had a decent day going. In fact, he had a great day going at one point, and still had a great race going, as he was in 7th there. And as you see him now, literally falling down in position. So yeah, his is definitely done on incidents, and that is very unfortunate. I can't wait to talk to him after the race.
Yeah, once you hit that 17 incident count, your car just disappears. It instantly removes you from the track, so that there's no chance of you being able to, just in case you were intentionally causing damage or something, you couldn't try to continue out the lap and continue wrecking people. Of course, that most certainly wasn't the case with Corey Preston. I'm sure most of his was off tracks.
Absolutely, and it's a great rule, and I understand the point of it being here. But when you look at when you're in a race like today, and it's so easy to get 1 point off track, that it can accumulate before you know it. These are some of the best V8 Supercar drivers we have, especially the Americas, and these guys are not out there intentionally doing anything. And unfortunately for Corey Preston, he'll hit his mark today. This isn't the first time we've seen him hit his limit mark yet this season. We've already seen it once before, and I hate to see it. This is 2 times that he's done that, and both were on good days of racing. So it can happen to anybody, and we forget time and time again about this incident limit. We don't ever talk about it, but it is actually a big part of racing here in iRacing.
It just, don't get me wrong, I like Corey Preston a lot. He's a good guy. I like calling him a friend every now and then. But it is something that comes up with. It's actually, I think it's his 3rd or 4th time just this season where this issue has come up.
Yeah, this is the 3rd one.
It's just, he needs to kind of settle down, drive a clean race. Everybody, if you're practicing, everybody knows where the limits are, and it is easy, but start getting towards that limit, you really got to back off.
Yeah, and it's hard to maintain a watch on that limit. I know it comes up on the screen and lets you know where you're at, but whenever you're racing against this pack like this, you can't hardly take your eyes off the track for a second to see where you're at. I'm sure it probably snuck up on him.
I will just say really quick, I know y'all are probably getting ready to start your final lap because we are too. Jason Dixon, really a rough time with Todd Parks here. They're less than a second apart, coming up through the chicane, getting ready to start their final lap, and it's going to be down to the wire for us here. I'll let you know what happens after y'all are done.
Fantastic, Jim. It's a little bit different over here in the first split as we are on our final lap. The High-Tech Oils Falcon out in front of Bo Kibis. Total domination out front, over 13.5 seconds and ahead in the lead for him. Bo is really on his way to a fantastic run here at Donington with just several turns remaining in our race today. You got to give him all the credit in the world. Deserved this win from the get-go, or once he got out in the lead, we'll say that. And fantastic run from him today. This will really put things into perspective with Tony Ottridge not in the lineup today. That will really give us a good vantage point of how we are on the championship race here in our season in the Americas. I'm very excited. Through the S turns for the final time is Bo Kibis, as he only has just a few turns remaining here at Donington Raceway. High-Tech Oils machine is fixing to take this thing to victory lane here around that crazy hairpin that Kane loves so much. And it's going to be just one more turn here for Bo Kibis, and Bo will take this thing to victory lane. Congratulations, as Bo Cattell wins Donington.
Who?
Oops, Bo Kibis. There you go.
Good catch, Jim. I didn't even catch that one.
I didn't even think about it. Here comes Michael Fulcher in second. What a day for Michael. Fantastic performance from him. And your podium finishes with Nigel Baines.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry to interrupt. We have side-by-side through turn 11. Todd Parks has just taken the lead from Jason Dixon coming into turn 11 on the final lap. Jason Dixon goes deep. Oh, they have contact. They are both spinning out of control. I'm not sure who's going to take it. I think Jason... No? I am surprised. Jason is actually going to take this, it looks like.
Wow. Crazy second split.
Yeah, it's unusual where they do that, where the other person that dived, it looks like Todd kind of pinched him down a little bit. I would say it was more towards Jason there, though.
Well, I'll tell you how we finished up here in the top split, and then Jim fill us in on the entire finishing results there for second split. Up here in the top, of course, we already mentioned our podium, which was Kibis, Michael Fulcher, and Nigel Baines. Then in fourth, it was Curtis Chipaway. Behind him, Marlon McMullen, rounding out your top five. Mark Anderson ran great today, finished sixth. Ian Ford, seventh. Marty Carroll was able to fight back and finish eighth. Sam Collins took ninth. Sanjin Dalalik found himself poking into the top 10. Aaron Hamilton finished 11th, with Michael Cracknell finishing 12th. Matt Yeomans finished 13th. Ryan Shelton 14th. Corey Preston coming in 15th today. Unfortunately, unable to finish the race. Wayne Bork, DNF, finishing 16th. The same for Corey Peters in 17th and Sam Sutton 18th. And rounding out your 19-car field, Chad Chastain. That's how we were in the top split. Jim, fill us in.
Yeah, they're just finishing up right now. Looks like Jason Dixon did take the win. It was a little unfortunate incident there at the last turn between him and Todd Parks. Todd Parks finished second. Andrew Vince third. David Moore fourth. Rory Rindrum fifth. Adam Harden sixth. Jason Quires seventh. Mike Budzian eighth. Brenton O'Brien ninth. Shane Rayner 10th. Katie Taranto ended up 11th. Dean Flavel 12th. Colin A.M. Mason Hayes 13th, Peter Simons 14th, David Terry 15th, Christopher Sherburne 16th, John Payne 17th, and Shane Tomlin rounds it out in 18th. It looks like he just did not start.
Crazy day here at Donington Park. And first time we've ever been here in the Americas Series, and I actually like this track pretty well. Very impressed with it. Thought we had some great racing here, especially for the first time that we've ever been. And definitely want to congratulate Bo Kubis on his victory here today. And that was sounding like, Jim, tell us a little bit about that finish again, buddy. Kind of paint the picture for us, as that was kind of a crazy finish there at the end of your race.
Yeah, it really was. Jason had been leading pretty much the entire race, Jason Dixon, and Todd Parks kind of showed the bumper to him in turn 11 on the last lap. Really, it wasn't really a dive, it was more of a borderline diving in there, but Jason was a little loose on the exit of turn 11. Lost the rear end. Todd Parks had a good run out of 11. Coming into 12, Todd was ahead by about a car length. Todd turned in a little early, probably trying to spook Jason a little bit. Jason didn't really seem to want to have any of it and just stuck it in there. Unfortunately, it sounds like they both locked up their wheels while they were doing it. There was some door-to-door contact, which spun them both out in the middle of turn 12, and Jason ended up just driving away and taking the win.
Fantastic. Sounds like a great race there in second split. We had a fantastic race here in the top split as well. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't quite as an exciting finish as Bo Kubis took the entire race. He just had a dominating performance. Let's go ahead and bring in Bo and have a word with him, I believe, if we can. Let's see if we can bring him in. Bo, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I do. How are you?
Fantastic, buddy. Welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show, and congratulations on winning our first ever V8's Americas race at Donington. Tell us a little bit about today.
Yes, thanks for that, guys. It was good. Don't know what happened to Chad at the start. I thought I got a good jump at first, but nah, obviously he didn't go anywhere. And so yeah, it was between myself and Fulcher for the rest of the race.
Yeah, fantastic. That was a great job, as Michael Fulcher was really putting on some good pressure on you, and you held your own very nicely. And after that, you did a good job breaking away, and after that, like, you just kind of dominated the race.
Yeah, my car was rubbish in the early stint because it was too much understeer, pretty much just the quality setup with fuel in it. And Fulch tried a really aggressive undercut. I think he pitted lap 10 or 11, and going to take the bait and pit with him. So I hung out there and pitted on lap 16, and I thought I knew I'm pretty good on fuel, so I wouldn't have an overly long pit stop, I didn't think. So, and I bet if you asked Fulcher, he wasn't overly happy with his undercut because he only managed to just scrape in front of me as I came out of the pits. And then on lap 1, I tried a really aggressive move into one of the corners up on the top of the hill there. I just wanted to get past ASAP before I used up too much of my tyre rubber behind him. I committed to a bit of a late dive and sort of couldn't quite pull out, you know. And we made contact, and we sort of both spun, and I redressed, and off we went again. And we did it all over again in turn 1 on the next lap. I got past him cleanly, and yeah, and then the setup come good with the low fuel load, and off I went.
Absolutely, man. Well, I'll tell you what, this is a very important win for you, and it's really going to help you out in the point standings today. We didn't see Tony Ottridge out there on the track, so should give us a good idea of how you guys stand as far as in the Drivers' Championship, and be really exciting as we go on to our next race next week. And this is going to be down to the wire the way you two have been driving all season. It's got to have you excited for the remainder of the season.
Yeah. There's no doubt that he's not mucking around. He's going to turn it up for the rest of the season in both the American series, I'd say. So he'll be one to watch.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. Very much so. And next week we're going to head off to Oran Park. So definitely no stranger to Oran Park, as you've been there time and time again. 4 laps. And you excited about that one?
Yeah, not overly, but I know that last season Marlon had a really good run there. Outstanding pace, and he's obviously he's back this week. Whether he'll be back next week, I don't know. You'd have to ask him, but if because he likes that track.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, thank you so much for having a chat with us, Bo. We do appreciate it. And my apologies at the end of the broadcast. You'll hear me. I accidentally said Bo Cattell. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. He raced with us a lot in the past, and so it just was a natural for me to pop out. So much big apologies for that slipping out at the end of the race, buddy. But big congratulations on an awesome job.
Yeah, thanks heaps, guys.
Absolutely. And that's Bo Cubis, everybody. Another fantastic performance from him. Let's bring in our next driver, a guy who had a fantastic performance tonight. And let's bring in Michael Fulcher, who come in second tonight. Fantastic performance. Michael, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show. How's things going?
Hey, boys. Good, thanks.
And we're so glad to have you here on the show. And what a job you did tonight. You looked absolutely outstanding out there. You battled with leader Bo Cubis for quite some time and just showed that you had the right stuff tonight. Tell us a little bit about how it felt out there on the track.
Yeah, car felt really good, especially early on. I was just trying to keep the tyres under me and stick with Bo. I think I made a mistake one lap, and he sort of might have got a second on me on that one lap. I put the head down and sort of tried to stay with him, and the undercut worked. Unfortunately, we came together after that, and my car just was understeering really bad. So I must have got a bit of damage out of that contact that we had, which was a shame because I planned on making that thing pretty wide for the rest of the race. I just from that, just had to settle for second again. So I'm happy with that. Great points tonight.
Absolutely. That is fantastic points. And you got to be excited about it, man. It's got to give you confidence. And like I was talking with Bo just a minute ago, we're heading off to Orland Park next week, a track that you're very familiar with. Does this give you a little bit of confidence going into a tough track like that next week?
Yeah, definitely does. Definitely does. I've carried through a couple of good rounds now, so the confidence is definitely building. I do like Orland Park. I don't think I'm sensational there, but I do like it. I am looking forward to it. The next week, Bathurst, I'll be going away for the whole week. I think I'll be back Friday night. And that's Australian time, so I'll have half a day to practice for the Bathurst American broadcast. I have to have my head down there.
Okay, fantastic, man. And I don't even want to go ahead and get the excitement stirred up for Bathurst the week after next. I already going to be fantastic. Just wanted to go ahead and just tell you again, congrats on the outstanding performance tonight. I thought you did really good.
Thanks, JD. And I'd like to have a shout out for our new sponsor. It's Tagnium Imports and Next Level Racing. They've come on board with us. We're very excited and happy to have them on board. Some new paint schemes are in the works to reflect that. So just a shout out to those guys. Thank you for your sponsorship.
Oh, that's wonderful news. Thanks a lot, buddy. That's a great announcement.
Cheers. Just a shout out to our new sponsors, Tagnium Imports and Next Level Racing. They've come aboard with us. We're very happy to have them and looking forward to good things to come.
That's awesome, buddy. Fantastic. We're happy to hear that. And you said new paint, new liveries in the works, so I'll be excited always to see those. You know, I love new liveries. I always get excited for those, so be excited to see that.
Yeah, that's the exciting times. And their colours will really suit our paint scheme at the moment. So, I think we've got some good looking cars coming next week.
Fantastic. Well, that's Michael Fulcher, everybody. Second place finish tonight. Michael, hang tight. We got loads to talk about in the Get Dirty MX post-race show. Next, I'm going to bring on a driver who was in the second split tonight, Jason Dixon, who ended up winning in the second split this evening. So without further ado, we're going to bring him on. Jason Dixon, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show. How are you?
I'm really good, thanks.
Fantastic, buddy. Glad to have you here on the show. And we were just listening in with Jim Davey on our updates from split number 2 and heard about a fantastic finish from you tonight, winning the race. You want to tell us a little bit about the performance tonight?
That was one of the most hectic races I've ever had. traffic was an absolute nightmare, and trying to keep the gap between me and Todd the whole race pretty much. Some of these lap markers just don't understand not to brake an extra 100 meters early when you're in front, thinking they're letting you not move to the side.
Absolutely. It is a crazy track. It really is. It's kind of like coming over a blind turn, and the next thing you know, you got a hairpin in front of you. It's really crazy. It's tough, and for you to go out there, the first race we ever raced in the America Series, and you come out there and win in the second split, that's just a phenomenal performance. And from the way you did it, it sounded like an amazing race.
Yeah, it was. I had a nice gap when I got after the pit stop. I had about a 7-second gap, and I just lost all pretty much due to traffic. But Todd was so quick. I was defending like crazy the last 5 laps to keep him off.
Wow, that does sound like it's pretty intense, and enjoyed hearing about it. And congratulations on an awesome job, man. We're really excited to hear that, and I know it probably won't be real long with results like that. We'll be seeing you up here in the top split.
Hopefully, JD. I was spewing I didn't make the race last week because I had really good pace then.
Oh, that would have been real exciting, and it'll be fun. I know it won't be long. We'll be seeing you in our races from time to time. And I would love it once we get a little more competition in the or more participation here in the V8 series, especially in the Americas series, which I believe we'll have next season or the season after at the latest. I know we're going to almost probably double in participation. Our field sizes will increase, and a lot of guys that are in second split right now will be a part of this top split, and that's really going to make for some amazing races up here in the top split. I can't wait for that. And you guys keep improving every race, and it just gets better and better, man. It's amazing.
Thanks for that. Yeah, a lot of the speed I'm gaining is big help from my team. Bo's been a great help with pointing out errors I'm making. I really encourage all the big teams to sign some up and comers. It really helps you as a new guy. Couldn't stress it enough.
Oh, absolutely, buddy. Well, I just wanted to wish you the best of luck and congratulate you on the win tonight. Hang with us as we're going to have plenty to talk about here in the post-race show. And but congratulations once again, buddy. Anybody you want to thank?
Just all my teammates and High Tech Oil.
Fantastic. Thanks again. And once again, guys, that is a big congratulations going out there to Jason on this fantastic win and winner of the second split. Hang tight with us, Jason. We got loads to talk about. Next, I'm going to bring in here our final driver on the podium in the top split. I'm going to bring in Nigel Baines for a quick word. Nigel, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show. How's things going, pal?
Oh, pretty good after that one, JD. How you doing, guys? Kane?
Man, doing wonderful, Nigel. Fantastic. And I was so excited to see you go out there. We haven't gotten to see a lot of you this season. And to see you come in at Donington, a track that we've never seen you run at, and we haven't seen you in a while. It feels like, anyways. And for you to come out there and perform that well, that was a real treat. Good job.
Yeah, thanks, JD. Yeah, been away, missed a week here and there, and had a lot of work going on at home here, so a little bit tight to make the races sometimes. But no, glad to come here. New track, always fun. Actually, one I raced on the motorbikes when I was living back in the UK, so kind of a familiar feel to it for me. But it felt like the day I raced there, which was raining, to be honest. It felt that it's pretty slick out there. So, but no, great race with Marl on there. You know, we made a nearly killed Corey early on with a mistake, but a couple of slowdowns dropped us a few positions, and then the early pits got them all back for us. So it was a good race.
It really was. So you have been in person out there on Donington, right?
Yeah, I raced some club racing back in the UK when I was living there, so on motorbikes. So that's yeah, I've been around that track, and it's a great track in real life. It's a great track in the sim too. They've done a great job.
That was my next question: was how well did iRacing hit the nail on the head there with Donington?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. The only thing for me that's missing is there was a bridge over the back straight where that little hump is down the back straight. But the bridge is obviously gone in real life now. I didn't know that. So
Oh, well, how about
kind of a
that?
strange feel going down the back straight. But no, it's great circuit. I think drivers there enjoying it too. So it's good to see.
Excellent stuff. Well, Nigel, fantastic performance tonight. Really enjoyed watching it out there, especially when we saw you holding off Curtis there as he came up on you there at the end. And for quite some time, you had a good battle with Marlon McMullen at times as well. That was incredible. And all in all, you did a wonderful job. Held your spot, and that was a well-deserved podium.
Yeah, pretty happy with the result there in the end. It was finding it a little tough after about 5 or 6 laps on new tires, but you know, pushing Marlon, he had a few looks and he got close a few times, but great clean racing, and I think a slowdown sort of gave me the breather. I think Marlon got one there sort of late in the race and gave me a bit of a breather. So concentrated, brought it home. Bo, I mean, great pace by Bo up front there. Race pace was awesome, so congratulations to him, and another great run by Fulch too. So great race, I think. I think it was a lot of action, and should be good to watch the broadcast back.
Oh, unbelievable. Well, we're going to move along. Thanks a lot again, buddy. I'm going to go ahead and bring in here a guy that battled real hard all night, and that is Curtis Chipaway. Curtis, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show, bud. Happy to have you here. How are you?
Yeah, JD, I'm doing great today.
Man, good to hear that. Fantastic job out there on the track tonight, bud. Good race all in all, finishing in the fourth place finish after starting ninth on the grid. So very good performance tonight.
Yeah, it was pretty hectic. That believe it was Chad, I think it was, stalled on the grid, and I clipped him. From there, I thought my race was over, but the car felt fine afterwards, and I had a lot of pace, way more than I expected, and I was able to fight with everyone. It was nice.
Yeah, that was something else. In fact, I really can't wait to talk to Chad. Unfortunately, I don't see him in here, but we'll want to talk to him later about that. I know he's got to be very upset with that start. He was really looking forward to the race tonight. But let's talk about your race. Had a great run out there. Obviously, after the race started, you had quite a task there trying to move up through the field, and you did. You did so very well, moving all the way up to fourth. What was the toughest battle out there on the track?
It was probably near the end there, with Marlon. I think it was Mark Anderson. That was probably the toughest for me. I could barely keep up, and then Marlon got a slowdown, and and then I got right by them on the outside on that blind uphill right hand turn, and that was my that was lucky.
It was fun to watch, that's for sure. We enjoyed watching every bit of those battles with you guys. And all in all, fantastic performance. And now I'm going to bring in Marlon here and talk to him real quick, and because he was part of that fun. So, Marlon, welcome to the Get Dirty MX Post Race Show. How's things going, bud?
Not too bad about yourself, guys.
Oh, absolutely wonderful. And job well done out there on the track today. I know that you probably would like to have finished a little higher, but if you look at the race all in all, you had a wonderful performance tonight, starting in the 7th spot on the track and finishing 5th. But we saw you as high as 3rd at one point, and you really could have had an incredible race. We saw you fall all the way back at one point. What happened?
Yeah, it was a really difficult race for me. Obviously, some people know my grandfather passed away yesterday, so it's pretty hard for that. So I had a few things on my mind, but I didn't want to think about it. I came in today, fresh, wanted to race and do the best job I could do, and there was a lot of heart and soul out there in my driving. I sort of drive a bit more sensible than what you'd normally see me, but,
Absolutely.
I had a super qualifying. Sorry, I had a super qualifying, and then avoided Chad at the start, and fortunately all the guys at the back, the first few cars see him, and the guys at the back don't see him, and unfortunately they hit the calamity, and we avoided it and gained a couple of spots, and then tried to settle into a nice little rhythm, and really enjoyed the car. It was really coming back to me, and there was certain times, it clicked with me, in a sense, like I had personality and I could flow it the way I wanted to, and I had a really awesome battle with Nigel, and it cracked a smile on my face, and it was nice, sort of reel him in and battle that out for those 5 or 10 laps, and just really enjoyed it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Marlon, we're sorry to hear that about your grandfather, buddy, but a fantastic performance out there on the track, man. I thought you had a great race out there, and there was a time you fell back, but you never gave up. You just kept pushing forward, and that's what was fun as heck to see out there.
Yeah, fortunately some of those laps were a little bit difficult for me, so I did have a tear in my eye and I fell a couple of slowdowns, but I persevered and yeah, I drove with my heart and soul, as I said, so it was really nice to bounce back after a few really bad weeks and a couple of weeks hiatus, I guess.
Well, I tell you what is exciting, and just as Bo Kibis mentioned at the very beginning of interviews, we're going to be at a track that is known for Marlon McMullen racing, and that is Oran Park next week. We're going to be looking forward to it, and I know you got to be looking forward to getting back out there, a track that you have completely dominated in the past. Are you excited to head back there?
Yeah, I sort of secretly use this week as a bit of a test session for next week, and yeah, the pace is good, so I think I'll make an appearance next week and try, to drive again with my heart and soul, I guess.
Absolutely, man. That's the best, always the best driving, and wish you the best of luck, buddy. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and hang tight with us. We got loads to talk about.
Cheers, thank you so much, guys.
Absolutely. Marlon McMullen, everybody. Without further ado, let's bring in a guy who had a wonderful race as well tonight, Mr. Ian Ford. Let me drag him in the right room here. Ian, welcome to the Get 30 MX post-race show, bud.
Thank you, thank you.
How is things going for you tonight?
Pretty good. Car withstood a lot of tough driving, so that's a good thing. And tyres seemed to hold on at the end.
Yeah, fantastic run tonight. Started in the 10th spot on the grid this evening and worked your way through up and down the race and finished in the 7th position. We got to see you lead quite a few laps today, staying out there for a late pit strategy. It worked out really nice for you.
Yeah, that's it. There's no point being a sheep. I might as well stay out there if I can run consistent times and pit it in and just, put my head down. Wasn't going to go backwards if I couldn't help it.
Worked out to perfection, my man. Good race out there. Had fun watching you out. You weren't out there ever in a zone kind of by yourself. You stayed in traffic tonight, and that had to make the race a little more interesting, but it also made it more on edge for you, and you did very well under pressure tonight, and the result was a 7th place finish. Good positivity as you move on to Oran Park next week, bud.
Oh, for sure. The Demi-Dog Falcon is always strong at Oran Park, so hopefully we manage to get a bit more turn in it this week for the next few races, and hopefully Oran Park we have the same sort of setup and just run in the front again.
Yeah, man, that's fantastic. We really look forward to seeing you next week. I'm glad to hear that you're excited about Oran Park. A lot of drivers, it's definitely not one of the ones they look forward to on the schedule, but some of you guys actually love that track, and the ones that do love it, it's so fun to watch y'all race. Unbelievably good there. And so we'll be looking for that next week, Ian. Glad to have you here on the post-race show. Hang tight. We got loads to talk about as I'm going to bring Marty Carroll and then, of course, our good friend Corey Preston in after him. But here's Marty. Thanks a lot. Marty, welcome to the Get 30 MX post-race show, pal. Good to have you here.
And glad to be here, guys.
Man, always a pleasure, Marty. Watched you have a crazy race tonight, and you want to tell us a little bit about how things went? Let's look at your results tonight. And Marty, you started 6th on the grid and finished 8th. And but we saw you in an incredible comeback. We saw you fall all the way down to the rear of the field. And what a job you did driving all the way back up to 8th place.
Yeah, bloody, it was pretty heartfelt when I saw my teammate out on pole, not able to get off the line. And so it sort of concertinaed us up a little bit going into one, and it allowed Marlon and Mark to get up beside me, and I tucked in behind Marlon. And when you're running close here, your visibility's pretty low at the best of times, and I just picked up a slowdown. And as we know, they're quite harsh around here, so yeah, I got dropped all the way to the very back of the field. And then it was damage control after that. So no, it was quite enjoyable running back through the pack, and had some good battles throughout the field, and tried to utilise a bit of pit strategy to gain a few positions. But all in all, not a bad recovery, and congratulations to Bo on a great race, and Michael a second. I think that's a career high for him here in the Americas Series, and also Nigel They had a tremendous race up front there. I've disappointed myself and Chad couldn't have been up there to provide some more entertainment, but all in all for the team, not a bad result.
Not at all, Marty. Marty, can you fill us in? I really wanted to chat with Chad after the race. I'm sure he was really upset with the race and how it went. Can you kind of tell us what happened, if you heard from him, what happened at the start of the race with him stalling out there on the start?
I haven't had a chance to talk with Chad yet. I think he got up and went and got himself a large bottle of scotch. And I'm sure he was sitting down watching the broadcast, fuming, of course, but no, he's a tremendous sportsman and tremendous talent. He turns up with 15 minutes to go in a Premier Quali and just blitzes everyone. And no, he'll be right. He'll shake it off and he'll be back next week. So I know he was really looking forward to it after the disappointment at Laguna for him. So yeah, no, it's quite sad to see it for him. So he's not having the best of run of luck at the moment, but he's chin up and he'll be back.
Well, I do want to point this out. We were going to bring Chad in for a pre-race lap around Donington, and time prohibited us from getting that done. And I do want to apologize that we weren't able to get that off, and that kind of pushed things back for Chad and his warm-up time as well. So hopefully that didn't have much to do with it. It probably did, but we apologize, Chad, that things didn't run quite the course we were expecting. Things do happen to do there when you're trying to run a show. Nothing ever gets to plan. So we hope we get to see you again, Chad, if you're watching out there, buddy. Next,
commentator's curse.
It gets you every dang time, I'm telling you. Thanks, Marty, for coming in. Hang tight. Loads to talk about, as always. I really got a special show tonight. Enforcer, as he likes to be called. Let's bring him in. Let's bring in Mr. Corey Preston. Corey, welcome to the Get Dirty MX post-race show. How's things going, pal?
They were going good until about 15 minutes ago when I got black flag, but anyway.
Yeah, did you get now the black flag? Was it from incident reaching an incident from 17X there, buddy?
Yep, DQ'd. You know, you're back in the pack, you're battling, you're trying to get the best runs out of the corners that you possibly can, and before you know it, you get black flagged.
That is hilarious, man. I mean, I hate it to happen, but it's just for hearing it from you, it just makes it funny.
Yeah, it's hard not to laugh, but I hope I was putting on a show. I mean, I was putting quite a few moves down at the hairpin. I think I was side by side with, and then into the next hairpin, I thought I'd try and go around the outside for 2 laps in a row, and almost worked, but no, I did not quite.
Well, you know what? You were putting on a show, and we really enjoyed watching it. You had quite a race going on there, and it was really fun watching you guys go back and forth, and everything was looking great. And then we just saw right in the middle of a battle your car disappear off the track, and that's when we figured you had reached the incident limit. And unfortunately, we knew that would end your day. So that just hate to see. The thing that's good was you had a great race going, and that's got to give you some confidence moving forward.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we're off to Oran Park next week, which is one of my personal favourites. I always seem to step a little bit up more there than anywhere else. But yeah, I genuinely had a top 3 car tonight. I mean, I was underway and was keeping relative pace with Bo and Michael, and then Nigel must have missed his brake marker, and yeah, I saw him coming, and I thought, oh no, I'm gonna have to go through the grass, and it's gonna be a penalty. So that did not happen, and then next lap, me and Nigel both got pinged on a really, really, to be honest, stupid shortcut penalty up at the top of the track, and yeah, that both buried us in the field, and then I was starting to make my way through, but yeah, just disqualified. Although Curtis makes a pretty wide Falcon. I almost feel like punching the face on the hood of his car in the face.
Well, don't do that, man. I swear. Something else, buddy. We do wish you well at Oran Park next week, and I'm glad to hear that it's one of your good tracks. I know that guys like you, Marlon, Also, Ian Ford said he likes to race out there as well. Be fun to do next week. We're looking forward to it because that is the lead up week to Bathurst, which we always get really pumped up here for at V8's Online, and especially in the Americas Series. Kane and myself and Jim will all try to throw up a pretty nice presentation that week. So we're getting fired up for it. I hope you guys are as well. All right, where'd he go? You got quiet on me.
First time for everything.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't believe I've ever heard Corey Preston just go silent.
Well, he's just not.
Oh, wait.
He's just not as
Wait.
excited for Bathurst as you are.
Were we still talking to me? I thought you were broadcast piece. Oh well. Bathurst, yeah, very good. Yep. I think a few seasons ago I was battling with Sean Kelly. Yeah, Bathurst is a bit of a mixed ground for me, and pretty sure for most. I mean, one small nick of that concrete up the top of the mountain, and you're toast.
That's it, man. And I tell you what, we will go ahead and conclude driver interviews. Corey, thanks a lot, buddy. I'll go ahead and officially close out driver interviews. And it's a good job out there, man. Hate the incident happened. The incident limit reach was, dang it, I can't get it out. Hate that you got the black flag. And best of luck to you at Orland Park next week. But we got loads to talk about tonight, so without further ado, I'm going to move on. We got tons of new news coming in from iRacing and other things going on around the sim racing world at the moment. Obviously, iRacing announced that we will be getting the Nürburgring. The ring is coming to iRacing. I had a fantastic article that I'm posting, and right there, pow, just put it up under the screen for you if you'd like to read it and check it out. Basically, in a nutshell, it's just telling you we are getting Nürburgring, a thing that attracted a lot of people that iRacing would never see. Is going to be here now. No timetable is given on when we will be getting this, and it looks like we're getting the entire Nürburgring, which is going to be unbelievable. That's going to be quite some kind of laser scan project for those guys, but I think it's nothing they can't knock out. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. You know that iRacing will do a phenomenal job with it, and once we have it, you got to think that will actually help bring that's got to bring some more people to iRacing. I've heard of people staying away because that iRacing doesn't have the Nürburgring. Some people are so obsessed with that track that they won't even come here because we don't have it, and now we will. So that's huge. And the article's out there. You can read it right now. It's a wonderful article. It's wrote by David Phillips, and just check it out if you haven't got a chance. Like I said, I put the link down there in the screen, and you guys comments on what do you think about Nürburgring coming?
Nürburgring Nordschleife, very good. Must have done back in my Gran Turismo 5 days, 700,000 laps around there in my trusty Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 6, Tommy Mäkinen, back on GD5. Love that place. Can't wait to throw a V8 around there. I mean, I pretty much know the track off by heart, and I was usually always pretty fast there. So
it's a mixed bag, I think. My opinion is it's a great track for hot lapping, but for racing it, I've never really had much of a fun race there on other sims or games, I should say, that I've played. So I'm not too far from the track, and it's great that it's on the service. I'm not sure what it's going to cost. It might cost us $50. I don't know, but I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to it.
Yeah, Kane and myself actually had a chat earlier today about maybe the cost. I don't think they're going to jack up the price too much. I think we may see it. Normal tracks cost us $14.99, about $15. I believe they'll put it on there. Kane thought about maybe 22. I don't see them charging any more than $25 for it. I just don't see them doing that. And really and honestly, they should charge what they charge for every other track. I think they may even give it to us for the normal road course price of $14.99. And but put the price. That's right.
My dog doesn't like the idea of it either.
No, he doesn't.
Be right back.
But what were you about to say, Jim? What's your thought on that?
I'll be honest. I hope I I don't think it's a V8 track. I mean, it's a very nice track. It's good for like your GT3 cars, or if you're into just torturing yourself, maybe something like the Lotus 49, the Lotus 79. But it's not a V8 track to me. I don't know. It's honestly, I hope it does not show up on the V8 schedule.
Yeah, it's not a
Actually
V8
agree with
track.
you.
It's
Maybe
not.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Jim.
maybe not the Nordschleife on the V8 schedule, but
But the
definitely
GT.
definitely the GP circuit.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
GP circuit's good. Referring to the Nordschleife, the GP circuit, yeah, it's great. The Nordschleife, it's or a downforce kind of track, not really a touring car kind of track.
Right. And when I think of the big track, I think of the endurance and the new driver swaps that iRacing will have. And I think of GT, long GT races or even prototype races that would be fun out there. Or like you said, open wheel downforce, any of the high downforce cars would be phenomenal on there. It's definitely not for the V8s, not at all. But I think the circuit will be great for the V8s. It'll be fun.
Now that
I
being
reckon.
said, I mean, it's just huge announcement overall for iRacing because you're going to have Nordschleife, you'll have driver swaps. They're talking about changing weather, changing time of day during the race. I mean, it's a big event. It's just not a big V8 kind of event to me. Now, I think the next logical step after this would be obviously getting the what is it, kit for Le Mans.
No, I love Lasarth. Yeah. I
actually-
love it. I love it. I actually do have Gran Turismo 6, and I get on the Lasarth circuit all the time, and it's actually a really fun track just to get on in hot lap. I don't know how the racing would be, but I do like it. It's a pretty track. Um, I was curious, Jim, when you just mentioned changing time of day. Do you think is there? I haven't heard anything about changing time of day coming to iRacing, and I've been wanting to see that for quite some time. Even rain or precipitation on the track has been talked of in the past with members. I mean, I have Gran Turismo 6, I have Formula One 2012. I don't have the newer one, but in both of those games, let's just change. Let's talk Gran Turismo. They have a 24 hours sun up to sundown to moon up, moon down, 24-hour cycle. And one of the things that amazed me was I could go to Bathurst and start a race at 7 in the evening and literally race all through the night. And it was just unbelievably amazing. And I could watch the sunsets and then watch the sun come up. And that technology is on a console game. Thinking, why in the world can we not have that in iRacing? And then on the other hand, the second half of that question is with the Formula One 2012 Codemasters produced this game, and it is absolutely, the water on this track is absolutely phenomenal for any game. It's one of the best I've ever seen of any racing game where they had precipitation on the track of how the car handled and how it visually looked. It was visually stunning.
Yeah, well, first I'd have to say if you're watching time change while you're racing around for hours at Bathurst, I'm pretty sure if you're watching the moon while you're racing around Bathurst, you're probably watching the wall immediately afterwards.
Well, yes, I'm talking about over the course of time, Jim.
Yeah. If I remember right, one of the things iRacing said when they started talking, because as it is now, you can go into a session, you'll have different times a day, and I think right now it's just random when the session kicks off, which it messed me up at a spa race once because I use a shadow on the ground going into the bus stop chicane for my normal braking marker, and then first race I did after that, suddenly it was a different time of day and the shadow was in a different spot, and I ended up being about 100 miles an hour too fast into the chicane. So wait, this isn't good. But I remember them saying that was like the first step towards them doing changeable time of day, and just like the weather during the season. I think that was like the first step they were saying, just like our collision with cones and stuff that we have now is the first step on the track towards getting a better damage model. And like Curtis just mentioned in the chat, DirectX 11 will be a big assistance for all of this stuff. So we're kind of waiting for that support. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I've read that iRacing wants to go that direction, changeable time of day and stuff. So you could have a 24-hour race. I mean, they posted up something recently where they had just finished a 24-hour race with driver swaps and everything else in one of their private testing sessions there that they do at the iRacing headquarters. And
But it's
so
but is the 24-hour race daylight the entire 24 hours, like on some distant planet or something?
Oh, yeah, probably. Like, I mean, you got Australians in this room, and they would say it's daylight over there right now. So, I mean, you could kind of use that as an excuse, I guess. Maybe. Someone help me out here. I'm stretching.
No, no. Time should progress. It should change, and there's a bigger reason for that. That is a race, and I'm going to explain that. It may not have
Light in your eyes.
It may not have quite as big of an effect over in the roadside, but for example, one of the things in the NASCAR or any oval racing is the way that the track changes dramatically in races where strategically NASCAR goes to, when they go to Charlotte and Texas Motor Speedway on those mile and a halves are almost boring during the day. But what happens is they'll schedule a race strategically at a 7 p.m. start time where it starts in the daytime, and sunset comes in tonight and it finishes under night, and it brings up such a challenge for the crew chief to set these cars up because the grip level changes so much from day to night that when the race starts out, these cars have no grip when the heat is out of the sun. But once the sun goes down, almost an immediate change on the track as the track temp goes down, the grip level comes up and the speed goes up tremendously, making the racing incredible. And it's exciting.
But at the same time, you're not really talking about the daylight change at that. You're talking about more than that. You're talking about a track that changes.
A dynamic service.
Of course. I don't want just the sun to change. I want it all to change. And I think that they could do that. As much as iRacing is a true simulator and as real as they want to be and claim to be, I believe they could pull this off. And I think that they should pursue this. And I think that they are pursuing this. I think it's something we will see soon.
I agree with you. I think they are pursuing it. Like I said, they're all these little steps they've been taking. Like Curtis and Jason, all them have been saying in the chat here, is that DirectX 11 is really, once they can integrate that into the iRacing shell, I think you'll really see some huge leaps. But I mean, I'm not all that big up on the graphics technology anymore. It's a pretty big change, and I think a big leap for some people that just don't have the hardware for it right now.
Do you, or does anybody in here have any type of guesstimation on when they would integrate DirectX 11?
No, not really.
Yeah, they've been really mum about that.
I think it'll probably be their next project after they get this next build out. They'll start working on that.
Yeah,
play sometime next year.
But just to go back to your point, JD, with the NASCAR analogy, when the heat comes out of the road and whatnot, the cars grip up. If that came to iRacing in the rookie street stocks, I can just imagine 20 cars all of a sudden just steering themselves into the wall because they got so much grip.
Yeah, I mean,
evolution. So there'd be a groove. So when you get out of the groove, you lose momentum. That's where now you can run all that an even amount of grip level. And there's just particular lines, but that's where JD's saying that over in the NIS we're running 250 lap races to where you can run the high line, which might be slower earlier on to rubber it up quicker later in the race.
You nailed it.
And
That's
I think
exactly
we will
what I
see
mean.
that. I think the way iRacing has done things is in pieces. They've improved the simulator over time in pieces, and they have a big list of things that they want to do. And just like getting us driver swaps, it's been a couple years in the making, having to completely rewrite the sim in order to get it done for us. The changeable track is another one of those things that requires a completely rewritten code, and I think that it's definitely on the list, something that they've got engineers out, but I think we'll
it's
get
something
it.
they have to do before they can do change, like look to implement any rain or or anything like that. So.
But they already do it, really, if you think about it. Look at, especially this week, when we look at Donington for the official series, and we look at the weather for the Premier Series, because of the different cloud cover and different situations, we get different grip levels on the track already. So essentially, they're already doing
like in
that.
our race tonight, the track didn't rubber in anymore.
Right.
No,
from lap 1 to lap 35, so that's the track evolution. So.
Yeah, I know you're not seeing that, but they're already simulating
somewhat.
Changes in grip based on weather.
No,
yes,
I do.
They just have to get it to where it
saying,
can change
Nigel.
during the race. It can load up with that different setting, but to get it to change during the race is where, I think you're right. They're working towards that by having the different grip levels for when the race starts. They've got a different grip level.
When they use realistic weather, I experienced big change during a race as such, but people have talked about it. You'll get a big crosswind and this type of thing. So they're simulating changes through realistic weather, which are live, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
so they're essentially doing it.
The last patch, they changed how much wind affects the car as well. So, and you can set a limit to how much the wind will change with realistic weather. So.
Okay.
Good point. It was just something that I've been thinking about. I just...
Yeah, and it's definitely something that they're working on. Like, like you said, that we can load the track up with the different grip settings on the track, and then we've got the wind that will change throughout. So they're making strides in that direction. I think we'll see it where the track will change as well. And I would have to assume that they're working on it just because of this progression that we've got to where we can load up the track with a different grip level, and the wind is obviously changing now. So I think they're making great progress.
Oh, definitely. It's that's why it's the best simulator racing service available out there on the market, because everything negative that was about iRacing when I first began 4 years ago was about the costs, but I've seen nothing but what I've put in come back to me from iRacing, and that's what I love about it.
Oh yeah, and iRacing's truly amazing. It's the best racing simulator out there, open to the public, if not even ever. I mean, it's unbelievable what you can do with this simulator, and of course, we're always going to pick-knack at it and pick at it, want things to be better, and that's what does make it better. Is iRacing gets great input from the community, and they take action upon that. They can't do everything at once, and they have to do it bit by bit, because they don't release things once every year or once every 2 years. They release it 4 times a year. So when you do that, to see changes implemented, you have to look at it almost on a year-to-year basis, where take currently where we're at now and look at iRacing where it was a year ago. We were wanting Bathurst, and we were just now in Bathurst. We were just, it was remember how happy we were, and look where we've come since. So you have to look at little things like that. Next year we'll be sitting at this same point going, oh, we have driver swaps, we have new V8s, we have Monza, we have some new stuff, and no matter, who knows what else. I think that iRacing has been really wanting to do some UI changes. I know a lot of people have been like, man, we don't even have a correct flagman we don't have things that we had in NASCAR race in 2003. And I know iRacing I read an article that they had wrote several months back about how they really wanted to upgrade the user interface of iRacing completely. They wanted to change so much about it, and they were going to have animations for winning a race. If your driver wins a race, the completely redoing the driver animation, the steering wheel animations, so many different aspects of the race. If you win a race, actually having a reason to celebrate, or just different things that you could do. I mean, just bringing so much more to it than what's already there. And it's just little things that, we can always keep adding cars and keep adding things like that, but iRacing really wants to add user interface items. They already have a stunning replay system. They already have incredible features now, but there's little things that they really want to do, and I know that they will. That's just the weather thing. I think would be phenomenal. And but anyways, it's just, and the reason why is, Kane, you remember when we were at Bristol and the High Line was where everybody ran, and no matter how much rubber was laid down, it never changed. And that's what I mean is, after so long, once the tires get heat up and so much rubber is laid down, finally people can actually run on the bottom line like we saw in the Sprint Cup race. And when Kevin Harvick went on that bottom line after, nighttime had fallen and things had changed, the track conditions had changed during the race, and it makes for really exciting races. As when does the bottom line become available? You have to go down there to test it out to find out in the race. And it just makes it really, really exciting because it's ever changing factors, just like in real life. But anyways, guys, is there anything else anybody wants to bring up this week? I know there's tons of things, really a lot of different stuff out there, but that's all I have this week.
I do know that we talked about it last week, but we are going to get the Aston Martin.
That is phenomenal, and Jim had posted some pictures. Do you have them to put on the broadcast, Kane?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Kane's going to throw those up. Absolutely stunning. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful car. I cannot wait to get this Aston Martin, or these. Getting 4 guys, 4 different Aston Martin cars. Sounds like a really big partnership built up with iRacing, and that is very exciting. And I know the GT3 guys are going to be extremely excited. I'm excited, and as of right now, I don't do any GT racing, but I can see some in my near future.
Yeah, what I want to bring up, just Bathurst 1000 for Race of Champions 10.
Bring it up. That's a really good subject. Man, those cars are awesome, guys.
Yeah, OSR, they have announced that the Race of Champions 10 will be the Bathurst 1000. It will be the full 1,000 miles, or kilometers, I guess is what they... 1,000 kilometers, and it's going to be about 6 hours of racing. We're going to have driver swaps. The drivers got to do at least 30% of the race, I believe. So it's going to be pretty cool.
That's amazing.
When I read the thread, I was I like how they did the categories gold, silver, and bronze. But when I had read the thread, I looked at the gold cutoff, and I was like, oh man, 'cause I was at like 45-10 when they counted the iRating, so I was almost counted as a silver driver.
I reckon the most interesting thing will be the driver pairings, like.
Yeah, like, because I could have paired with someone fast, the gold driver as a silver driver,
I agree that the pairing is going to be some of the most interesting part. A gold driver has to pair with either a silver or a bronze driver, and of course silver driver can pair with a silver driver or a bronze driver, and it's going to be interesting.
I think some people, for our team, actually we don't even have a gold driver, to be honest, at SDC, so we don't have the headaches maybe that some of the other teams like TTR and TTL have. But the idea, it's a fun event, it's to raise money for charity, and they're trying to base it on like the real life, where they use the I'm not sure what the lesser series is of the V8s, but there's Corio probably.
Dunlop series.
Yeah, so they try and use one top tier driver and one driver from that tier, and I think we don't want superpower teams out there racing. We want it to be that interesting event. You're going to be out there for 6 hours. You want some mix up in the maybe strategy, and then some faster guys having to come back through after like a development type driver, however you want to word it, has been in the car. So I think it's much better to take one gold and one bronze, or one gold, one silver, for example, and mix it up a little bit instead of having 2 really top tier drivers teaming up and having their own race kind of thing. It'll be much more interesting.
Man, I'm sorry, guys. I was doing some reading, and There's a $100 painting contest out here. Now, Nigel, I know you've done some painting in the past, buddy.
No, I won't be spending any time doing that.
I just had to throw it out there while we were.
I think you got it right. I've done some in the past.
Oh, man, he did some fantastic paints too, guys. But I think we'll leave it up to the pros, I guess.
Yeah, so JD and Kane, are we going to see you in a car for the OSR Bathurst 1000?
Unfortunately,
Somebody's got to broadcast it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm the only director for that V8 Online has that can actually do
at the moment
to do the broadcast. So hopefully, I'm hopeful that Australia's internet service will improve and that someone else can take over. But for now, I'll have to be the one behind the magic.
Well, JD will have his new pedals, so no excuse. He could be out there.
Well, the problem with JD and his pedals is that they're at my house, and I have to ship them to him. And as Marty knows,
sitting there next to my trophy.
This could take 12 months.
Just hold out on him, Kane. You can keep him in the commentary box forever.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
pick
true.
him up, Kane, when I come over to the...
Yeah, you
That's
might
right.
be waiting for Marty to come get his trophy to get your pedals too.
That's awesome.
I told JD I was going to send the trophy to his house. That way he can be the one getting the crap for it.
Oh gosh, guys!
Just send it with the pedals.
Yep, just package it in the box. I'm thinking it's going to cost about $30 to send the pedals to him, but they wanted $80 to send that little bitty trophy over to Australia. I couldn't believe it.
Told you I'd pay for it.
I know, and I'll get it to you. I promise. It is a pretty cool trophy.
Just want to look at it, you know, not on a picture.
That's right. Y'all are a dang trip, dude. I swear. We're gonna end this show now. Let's
All right,
go
cool.
ahead.
One last plug. Make sure you go see Sean Cole on the simpit.com for all your sim racing needs.
Absolutely.
The Simpit is so awesome. I'm so glad that Sean Cole came back with another show, and that it is as awesome as the Simpit is. So truly happy.
Oh,
yes, we got a lot of our scratch their head, and because they've watched, you know, they followed Inside Sim for so long, and Sean Cole, like, he was the main draw card for their program, and when he left, you know, it's been a privilege, you know, having support of the Simpit with SDC, and having Sean on board, and you know, we're growing to be built bigger and better together, and it's it's a really nice partnership, you know, and a few of the guys still find it a little bit surreal that he's part of our team, and
it is awesome.
the way he
The
does,
relationship
but,
there
it's
is very good, and it's a win-win for both.
Oh, definitely, yeah. We both strive for perfection at the end of the day, and while we like to, you know, create a relaxed atmosphere within the team and the groups, you know, which makes your racing enjoyable, and you know, as we can see, that's you know, producing results, you know.
Absolutely, that's a fantastic philosophy, and Kane and myself use that same philosophy here in the broadcast booth, and you see how, you know, it turns out pretty good. I guess it's I like to think they're pretty decent shows. I'm sure. I know we have our ups and downs like all, you know, anybody else, but it's great, man. It's a fantastic philosophy. We wish Sean the best. We've had him on our show before, and I would love to. I think it's about time for Kane and myself to go be on his show, man. Just to return the favor, man. We loved having him on our show, and I'd like to go talk to him on his show. So maybe we'll see that one day. I don't know.
We'll make it happen.
That's right. We'll make it happen one day. We'll get out there and we'll have a chat with him. But anyways, that's awesome stuff, and thanks for throwing that in there, Marty. It's good stuff, man. And we'll be back next week as we are getting ready for Oran Park. Also, guys, don't forget next weekend. Also, we will be back in the Premier Series. We'll be back at Oran Park as well, so that will be exciting. and JD will be back as well. I'm not going to miss it, I promise.
Really sorry to interrupt, but it's actually Premier Series is at Donington this week.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's this week. Well, my gosh. We'll see you in just a few hours then. Looks like JD's staying up tomorrow night.
Yeah, we've heard that a lot.
And I got to work at double the next day. Oh, that's going to hurt. Oh, well, I don't care. It'll be fun. It'll be a blast. I'll be so excited. I was so sad missed the last one, man, and the one before that. It was just awful. I'll be back.
But the one you made, it was pretty fun.
The one that I made was unbelievable. It was the first one, and had so much fun. And I won't miss it, man. I promise. I'll be there. And all right, guys, and to the viewers, thank you guys very much. Each and every week, we love having you guys come in each and every week, show you utmost love, and really appreciate you guys coming every single show pretty much, and leaving your comments and subscribing to us on Facebook. On Facebook, good Lord, on YouTube, and coming in every week, liking the video. It makes a big, big difference, and it gets our video out to more and more viewers, and makes our broadcast keep moving up the ladder, the gauntlet of talent that is different broadcasters out there. And from V8's Online, I'm JD Smith, Kane Craft with me. We'll be back next week. We also want to thank Jim Davey for being here with us all show. He dipped out now, but we do appreciate him being with us, giving us great updates throughout the broadcast. And so all our great drivers that in for post-race input and analogies and on their wonderful racing. We appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next week as we come to you from the V8 Supercar America Series next Friday evening at 10 o'clock in the Eastern United States. That's Eastern time, and we'll be back same place, same time next week, guys. Y'all have a great night.
Donington just has to cross over this crest. He will cross the line and will win the championship.